Well, here we are. Welcome to this episode of Small Bike Stuff. I'm really proud to present to you the Jawa 350 Red Style. And no, that's not an aftermarket decal. I've been asked that by several people when I showed them pictures of this bike. This is how it came out of the factory. Now, it's not just a Jawa 350 Red Style. This was actually known as the Jawa 640, and they've put a style here just because New Zealand registration labels are quite annoying and really accurate, unfortunately. Often, you know, if a bike's come into the country in 1995, but they don't register it for the first time till 97, then it'll be registered as a 97 model. These came out around 1995, and the engine, in two trains of thought about this, is either still produced or not produced anymore, but yeah, this is a Czechoslovakian produced 350cc, two-stroke, two-cylinder, and it's only got 4 gears. That's all we've got to deal with. So let's jump straight into it. Engine, how are you? Look at this thing here. So you've got 2 pipes coming off, you've got a ton of cooling fins, you've got your 2 spark plugs up the top there, got your fuel tap on the side, a single carburetor in there, so you know it's not going to be super powerful, but a couple of awesome features this thing has is, number one, the fact that it's 2-stroke. Number 2, we've got this wonderful thing here called a shifter, but oh wait, is that your kickstart? Yes, it is. So this is not an electric start bike, it's kickstart only, and the shifter, yes, does double as a kickstart. When your bike started, no problem. Just put the shifter back down there and it turns into a shifter again. So as you can see here, we've just got that movement in and out. So in and back turns into your kick. Put it down, it pops back out, and it's a shifter, and then you've got up and down. So 1 down, 3 up is the gears that we're looking at here. And they're fairly long gears. Yeah, you do find that with the 4-speed with long ratio gears, I don't know if I'm actually describing that right, but they're very long gears. You know, you can stay in first for ages, stay in second for ages, and I found myself shifting a lot more than I needed to on the way here, just because I wasn't used to it. Now, you've also got this here, which is your brake, and on this side of the engine, everything's fairly standard. There's nothing too dramatically different from what you'd expect in standard motorcycle controls. We're back on this side of the engine, because I forgot to tell you something about our wonderful kick starter shifter. You've got a clutch up here, which is almost a controls-based thing that we'll cover soon. However, every time you change gear, the clutch is activated as well. So technically, you only need this thing here just to take off. And then most of my gear shifts on the way here, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and then back down the gears as well. I'm not using the clutch. It just engages automatically. So it's almost like a semi-auto, but despite being a manual. So yeah, you can't take off without the clutch, but once you're going, you don't need the clutch to change gears anymore. All right, wheels and tires. So we have 18-inch wheels here. They're kind of like a tri-spoke, well actually 6 spokes, but we like to say tri-spokes because it's more exciting. Front disc brake with a single piston by the looks of it, and it's running a 3.25 by 18 tire. This is just a Mitas tire, once again made, whereabouts? The Czech Republic, just like the bike. So these are pretty much what most people would be running on their Jawas, you know, over in the Czech Republic or over in Eastern Europe, or wherever they are. And you can fit obviously any 325 by 18 on the front, but that's just what it has here. If we jump to the rear, which is kind of hidden, but we'll spin this around. Oh no, we don't need to, 3.5 by 18. So the same Mitas tire on the rear. However, we have a drum brake instead of a disc brake. So not really much to talk about with the wheels and tires. It kind of does look like, you know, they use the same castings for the ones that would have had drum brake fronts as well. But hey, you know, it is what it is, and it does its job. Speedo comes out of here and down into the engine itself, so there's no speedo reading off the front wheel like some bikes do have. Controls, welcome. So we've got this wonderful key here, and the reason I say it's wonderful because look at that, that's absolutely hilarious. So currently the bike is off. To turn it on, push that key down, turning it off, pull that key up. So that's on versus off. You'll see the neutral light goes on and then neutral light turns off again. The lighting may prohibit you seeing that very well. Speedometer goes up to 180, and they've got Czechoslovakia printed on the bottom there, which is kind of hard to see. There you go. And the rev counter, we can see our revolutions per minute. The rev counter goes up to 10, kind of tells you that, hey, don't take it over 5.8, but also keep it between 3 and 3.8 because that's, or 2.8 and 3.8 because that's the 1000 RPM rev range that's the most economic. So yeah, as you can see, this isn't designed for speed, but you know, if you want to take it for a bit of a blat and ride it within an inch of its life, that's fine. Take the key out and the horn still works. So yeah, we've got some peculiar, well not peculiar, but this is kind of how things used to work back in the day. High and low beam here, lights on, lights off possibly, or just a flash, the high beam. and so that would be your pass light on a traditional bike. I keep finding myself pushing this when I want to use the horn, and you've got your turn signals, which obviously don't have any cancelling feature. You've got to do that yourself. And then over here, we've just got our kill switch. So off, on, really basic controls. Clutch, which I've mentioned, only needs to be used on takeoff. And then your controls down here, which kind of double with the engine chat, is kickstart here by pushing in, and then you've got 1 down and 3 up. If we jump over to the other side, the only other thing we've got there is our rear brake. So the rear brake's operated by a lever on the right side, just like most bikes. So nothing really fancy to talk about with your controls. Some of them do have a big cowling on the front here, but this one doesn't. And then on the back there, you've got your tail light with turn signals. So nothing super fancy when it comes to the controls, but you know, they do their job. Modifications. This thing's stock. The only modifications you could really say is that these expansion chambers here, which are stock as well, have been painted and then polished with 1 inch of their life at the back there. So they were a little bit poor in their finish, kind of like the header is at the moment, but it was like that over the whole thing, and you know, they've been taken off and refinished, and it's a fairly alright job. The red style thing, they came in a white style, black style, blue style and red style, and that literally just pertains to the colour of the bike. You've got a steel tank and then plastic, plastic, plastic. So yeah, there's a lot of plastic on the bike, and these things here, you know, from mid-90s are starting to get pretty old here, and it can be a little bit brittle if you're not careful. But just like with most Czechoslovakian bikes, jump online, you can buy nearly everything for this bike. Brand new, straight out of the Czech Republic. And yeah, no real modifications. Chain is on the right side of the engine here, not on the left side like a lot of bikes, and that's kind of like an enclosed chain cover here that you can see. So the chain's on the right side, coming out of the right side of the engine instead of the left like a lot of Japanese bikes do. And yeah, these aren't modifications, these are pretty standard, but you've got these grab rails here. A lot of people fit pannier bags and stuff on them. You've got a grab rail on the back, another big grab rail on the side here. So yeah, it's a fairly basic bike. So yeah, it's a pretty cool bike. I've got quite a bit of riding footage from when I came here, so I'll check that over now so you can hear what it sounds like when you're riding it. A lot of vibrations, you can hear the vibrations from the plastic. But let's just say it adds character to the bike, and I'm not complaining too much. But that's about it. There's not much to say about this. It's an incredibly basic two-stroke. This engine design's been around for years and years and years. If you jump onto the Jawas from the 50s and the 60s, they've got the exact same kick and starter setup, kick, starter, gear shifter setup, and yeah, it's just pretty impressive. Disc brake front, which is, you know, pretty modern for these things. But I don't know if you watched Long Way Round, and when one of the BMWs, I think it's the cameraman's one, just stops working, either they weld it and fry the engine, I'm not sure what happened. Long story short, they pick up a 250 parallel twin two-stroke from Eastern Europe, whether it was one of these or a, you know, an old Ural. I don't know if they came in two-stroke, but it's an old Eastern European two-stroke, and it absolutely blitzes all the BMW 1200s. And there's a reason for that. These are light, simple to operate. Any local mechanic in that part of the world, just like in Southeast Asia, any local mechanic can look after a 100cc four-stroke really easily. Yeah, impressive machines. I'm gonna go ride this some more. It's a hot day, summer's coming. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this Jawa 640 red style, which is actually a 350cc parallel twin two-stroke. Peace.
So you've heard about this bike already, but I'm riding it before I told you all that. So it's interesting, you know. I often riding little single-cylinder four-strokes, and It doesn't mean I haven't ridden a lot of two-strokes in my life, I have, but jumping on one for the first time in a long time is quite fun. You know, this is not designed to be a super quick you know, race bike. It's designed to be, you know, your daily commuter. It's even got this economy, which you've already seen, this economy band on the rev counter there, and you know, the 4-speed, which is I am used to from my little 125 4-stroke single cylinders, is interesting. I find myself changing gears a bit more than I need to. They got a much longer kind of ratio than you would expect. Well, no, not than you would expect, but then I'm assuming that it will have first, second, third, and then look. So I'm going to remove my hand. The clutch engages from the shifter, which is also the kickstart. So yeah, a lot of Czechoslovakian genius here. Yeah, even downshifting, I don't need the clutch, and it's quite weird to get used to. But I really like this low down torque. It just sounds satisfying. You kind of feel like you feel like you're in the bike and you're moving along with it. It's very much like a freight train taking you down the road. A bit vibraty and what's the best way to describe it? Agricultural probably is the best thing to say. But you know, it's not a bad thing. It's just how it is. One could argue it's got more feeling.